Heavy hitters live. Lock in.
Yeah, we got the heavy hitters in the house tonight, dropping knowledge, making sure the future's bright. It's Mad Mike Sports and Jew Talk laying down the law. With the Don and 6MK, we breaking down each flaw. The stats, the facts, and the truth. Heavy hitters live. That's right. The stats, the facts, and the truth. Heavy hitters live. Let's go.
Yeah. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? The heavy hitters coming to you Wednesday night. We got another good one here. We got another draft talk prospect conversation going on as your host, K Styles. And you know, it's Mad Mike Sports, the senator. We got the minister, Jew Talk Sports. We got the Don, the Summer Hill Nightmare.
Man, I thought at first we were doing another wrestling show, bro. I'm like, man, who would like to Trick Williams on the show?
That boy said, that's the lemon pepper stepper right there, man.
Whoop
that trick.
Man, that's funny.
Hey, y'all laughing. I'm up here eating lemon pepper wings right now.
Boy, that's hilarious.
Of damn course. Of course. hey, y'all, man. So we got a couple special guests chopping it up with us, man. We got my boy Nick Frazier, and we got the homie Tez. Hey, man, go ahead, man. Let the people know who you are. Tell them a little bit about yourselves, man.
Yeah, man. Nick Frazier, man. We coming from Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. You know what, we talk college football, and we drill it down a little bit more to the SEC, and then of course we drill it down even more when we talk about them Auburn Tigers over there on Water Cooler Talk Sports, man, network, man. So we appreciate y'all so much, man, for having us over here, man. You can check us out Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, around the cooler. And then of course, man, www.watercoolertalksports.com. Again, that's www.watercoolertalksports.com, man. Appreciate y'all for having us, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah, hey, man. Hey, no problem, man. So, like you said, you know, the minister up here, Jew, who's also an Auburn fan. So, like I said, man, it's a 3-on-3 on this one today.
Yeah, and y'all do some great work over there. I was the one that recruited, not recruit, but I do the talent relations over here at Unholy Alliance, Mad Mike Sports, and Heavy Hitters. So I watched y'all a couple months ago, and I'm like, y'all do some great work for Auburn over there, man. Y'all are honest with the fans. That's first and foremost, right there.
So we try to be. That's all you can do. Exactly.
Yeah, y'all honest with the fans, and like I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. The Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Y'all the best podcast with the noun water in it. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Hey. Take it any way I can get it.
Hey, man.
What kind of damn time? Like, what kind of hell this damn?
Mike, you should already know about that.
That was a compliment. Like, hey, man. Look, I don't even know what to say about that. Like, what the hell?
Well, as we started off with the 2-minute foolishness, as we usually do on these shows. Hey, man,
you know how you going lemon pepper wing down. That was you had too many of them.
I need like 10 more.
This motherfucker, yeah. Well, you the only motherfucker.
Before we get started, I gotta say this real quick. Nick is really disturbing me with his name because, I want to say Nate Frazier so much because I'm a Georgia fan.
Man, let's not do this.
I'm just looking at his name.
See. Nah. This is what I had a feeling this was gonna happen. So
wow.
I've been trying to ignore it and not say nothing, but it's really annoying me right now.
Yeah, we definitely got to take that one back. Nate Frazier.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, Hey man, so like I said, we got the intros out the way, man. So hey Don, man, go ahead, take it from here, man.
All right. I'm gonna let the Auburn guys talk more about Bobby Jamison-Travis. Let me go. Nate, you can go and start it off, man. What stands out to you about him? Nate, hey.
He go down
you can go too, man.
Nick Frazier.
Seamless, bro. I love it.
Man, this is great. This
Man,
is
great. And the other part,
incredible,
hey,
man,
this is great
man,
television,
man. See, this is what happens when you eat lemon pepper wings at 10 o'clock, damn near 10 o'clock at night.
Man, this is great. This is great television. That's what it is, man. It's great television.
Man. That's funny.
Great television.
Hey man, we appreciate it, man.
I mean, okay, you asked the question like, what stands out about Bobby Jamison-Travis, man? I think the one thing that stands out about him when you like see him in person is like just the sheer size of him. You know, like he's a big guy. I think he's like what 6'4", 6'5", somewhere in that range. I think he's like easily like, I think he's like what 315, 320 in that range. So when you see him play, you know, you just the sheer size of the guy. You know, I think a lot of Auburn fans will say this, you know, he was probably like one of the surprises of the season on the defensive line, especially on the interior part for Auburn the past couple of seasons. You know, you have Malik blocked it in the middle as well. In there as well, who was the guy that a lot of people looked at coming in as the 3-tech guy that can make some noise in the middle of the in the interior of the defensive line. But when you look at Bobby Jamison-Travis, man, he held his own as well too in the middle. You know, he was able to be disruptive on some plays as well when he had his opportunity to get in there and play. I think he just get a guy. I think he just get pretty much like you know, people may disagree with me on this, but I think he's a high motor type guy, man. I'm not sitting here saying he's gonna be like the, you know, the superstar of the interior, but he's gonna be the guy that is going to do what he needs to do. He's gonna always do his assignment, and when he gets his opportunity, he can make a play in the backfield. You know, or he can disrupt, you know, the interior part of that defensive line, and make it easier for the linebackers to flow and feel and play behind him. So I think wherever he goes, you know, wherever he plays, I think he's I think he projects to be probably like a rotational type guy in the NFL, like a depth guy, or anything of that nature. But who knows? You mean if it takes one team to fall in love with him, and if something happens, he could potentially end up being, you know, playing in the league for, you know, have a career that where he can play for, you know, 6, 7, 8 years, you know, maybe a decade. You know, just have one of those, just be a very, very solid type player in the interior for a defense.
Yeah. I guess everything Nick said, man. You talking about a guy that's like you said, about 6'4", 315, 320, somewhere in there. If you look up run stopper in the dictionary, you probably see a picture of Bobby Jamison-Travis or somebody that looks like him. To be that size, he's kind of explosive. Like, you know, like Nick alluded to, disruptive, can make plays in the backfield. I think it's a guy. I remember he had a video when he was in high school that he dunked the basketball and broke the backboard in the game.
Yeah, he did.
And we're talking about a guy that's 300 pounds, right? So this dude is explosive, but not necessarily in passing downs. When I mean explosive, I mean just like really, really quick off the ball on the run, so he gets an advantage there, and then he's a heavy guy to deal with once he does get off the line. Like I said, if your objective is to find somebody who can help in the run game immediately,
exactly.
Obviously, Jameson-Travis, he can be that guy for. I think pretty much any NFL team. So yeah, you getting a stud that in the interior of your defense if that's what you're looking for.
I mean, you just look at his stats. You know, look at what his stats were last year, man. He had 25 solo tackles as a defensive lineman. You know, on the interior side, on the interior of the defense. You know, I'm looking at it and I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Like, I don't think Auburn has not had like that dominant presence on the interior since what's my guy name in Carolina right now?
Derek Brown.
Derek Brown. You know, you haven't had, and I'm not sitting here saying Bobby Jamison-Travis is there because he's not. I want people to understand that I am not sitting here saying that Bobby Jamison-Travis is Derek Brown. That did not come out my mouth. I'm just saying we haven't had somebody that disruptive on the interior of the line. I mean, last year you had a combination of guys that can do what Derek Brown did when he was at Auburn 2017, 2018. 2019 and things of that nature. So you had guys like Malik Blockton. You had guys like Bobby Jamison-Travis. You had my guy that's coming back off of the waiver this year. Help me out, sis. What's his name? What's transfer from Western Kentucky? He was at Texas A&M.
I drew a blank.
Can't think of his name for nothing. It is slipping my mind right now. He just got the waiver to come back this season. Dallas Walker the fourth. Dallas Walker. Yeah, Dallas Walker the fourth. You know, you had that combination of guys that were in the middle that can come in and just be like, kind of like, you know, you had rotation in there that can come in and just make plays and be disruptive. But when you look at him, man, he had 25 solo tackles, you know, from the interior. So as Ted said, man, you're looking for somebody that can come in and be a plug guy in the middle and stop the run. Somebody that can potentially two gap. You know, if you put him in a nose tackle, he could potentially two gap, you know, in the NFL and do that extremely well. And especially if you get if you play in a 3-4 defense, right? Which you know most defenses are kind of going towards in the NFL now. If you play in a 3-4 defense because you want to have you know what they call that star position or that nickelback type player that can kind of play outside, you know, outside linebacker and they can still play in coverage because you want to keep 5 defensive backs on the board. I think Bobby Jamison-Travis can come in and be effective at that position, you know, and things stuff like that. Could he shade? Could he could play the zero technique? Could he shade the center and play and two gap that thing some just to get some pressure off those linebackers and things and stuff like that? I believe he possibly can. You know, when you look at it from that perspective, and he's a big dude. You like one thing you can't teach is measurables. You can't teach. You can't teach 6'4", 6'5", man. God just gave you that. Dude, 300 some pounds and he's strong too. So I mean, that's just something that you just got to look at and see and just look at it and see if that's how he fits. You know, if you're talking scheme wise, you know, he can come in and be a nose tackle in a 3-4. Could he? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he could be a 3 tech in a 4-3 or anything like that. But he could definitely be, you know, a zero tech, you know, or something like that in a 3-4 type defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. He's got a little bit of versatility to him. He can play over the nose if you want him to. And like you said, I don't know if he can play a 3 tech right now in a 4-3 defense, but he's explosive enough and big enough that you kind of can turn this guy into what you need him for on your defensive line. When you get him into your camp, like you can turn him, you can slim him down if you want. He's explosive enough to, you know, possibly play the 3 tech with a little bit more conditioning, I think. So he's a project, but he's got all the good pieces that you want in a project along the defensive line: explosiveness, size, and strength. So whatever you want him to be, you know, he's not going to come, you know, be a pass rush DN for you.
No,
right. But along the interior of your defense, you can kind of mold this guy to be whatever you need from him, to be honest with you. And you can get creative with the pairings. You know, you can pair him with a true nose, or you can pair him with different guys and create some interesting combinations. Man, he's a very intriguing piece. I think whoever he lands, somebody's going to get a gem in that.
All right, what's your thoughts, Ju?
Everything that y'all boys said is music to my ears, and that's why he was one of the guys that I stated out from Auburn, being that I'm an Auburn fan, and we run like a rotation here in Atlanta, so we run a multiples fronts, 3-4, 4-3. We run a multiple set up front, but we rotate our guys in and out. And our defensive line coach, Nate Ollie, he preaches basically just get upfield. Get upfield. That's the main thing. Get upfield, cause havoc, push the pocket, and allow the guys on the outside and the linebackers to eat. And when I watched all the Auburn games, 97 always flashed on my screen. When I'm like, I see blocking number 47, but 97 is something about him just never giving up on plays, always in the backfield, making tackles for losses. Like y'all said, short area quickness. No, he's not. You're not gonna play him at a 5 technique. You're not gonna put him as a DN, but he is a guy that's short area quickness, 6'5", 6'4". And the Falcons, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of Falcons football, but we struggle with 4th and shorts, 3rd and shorts, and in the red zone. We struggle. We struggle with stopping short yardage downs. So if you want somebody at that 0, like I said, it's either the shade or the 0, where you can just put them in and tell them push forward. That's something that I've seen out of him, the explosiveness, and he quick and off the ball. He jumps off the ball. He jumps off the line of scrimmage. And that's what we preaching here in Atlanta is attack, attack, attack. So I know that that's something that he's going to do is play his role and play his assignment. He's not going to jump out his gap, very gap sound. Like when I watch him on film, I'm like, yeah, this is what the Falcons need. We missing that one guy that can be that Dontari Poe type player. We haven't had that player since the Dontari Poe or since the Rasheed Hagman that has also the size. Here in Atlanta, we play a lot of smaller guys at that 3 tech. Like we have a Zach Harrison on our team where these guys are not 320 plus or 315. We like our guys to be between anywhere from 300 and under or 305. We don't like to have guys that are, 320, 310. We don't have a lot of guys on our roster that can be like a 0. So I like him because he's not a guy that you have to draft high. I can see him being an undrafted free agent, or I can see him if a team falls in love, you can get him later on in the draft. But he does offer what some of these high-end defensive tackles in the draft offer you, because he can get a sack in a game. He can get you a couple tackles for loss. Like y'all talked about, 30-plus tackles mean this dude running sideline to sideline making plays. So that's what I love about his game is that he's one of those guys that's going to give you effort. And that's what we preach here in Atlanta. It's like, it's not about one guy on our defensive line. It's about a group and a gang of guys getting you anywhere between 6 to 8 sacks. Last year we had 50-plus sacks, but we had multiple guys giving you something. Brandon Dorlus jumped off the page last year. He had a really good season. We had guys like Ruka Roro take the next step, but we have a ton of guys. We went about 10 deep last year when you talk about defensive lines and guys up front. So if you rotate a Bobby Jameson-Travis into the game, you guys know if he's not playing a lot of snaps, he's going to give you premium top end, pushing the pocket, making plays and tackles for loss. And that's what we're going to ask him to do. Similar to what he did at Auburn, because at Auburn, you guys know we rotate our defensive line. So nobody's playing all of the snaps. And that's what he'll be doing here in Atlanta. You're not going to rely on him to be, he probably won't even start. He'll be, like you said, a guy that can add depth, but he has the attitude and he plays where if someone goes down, you can throw him in the starting rotation, because regardless of when you get in the game, here in Atlanta, what it's about is keeping these guys fresh up front. So I love what I saw on film, and I love, because of course I'm an Auburn fan, so I watch all the games on Saturdays, and I'm like, man, this dude, he's something special because he started off at a smaller school. So I feel like he's one of those guys that plays with a chip on his shoulder. Like you guys said, he's not Derrick Brown because he didn't come out as a 5-star or one of those top recruits. He was one of those guys that had to get it out the mud and end up transferring and getting to Auburn and then showing that he can play with the big dogs. We know in the SEC, that's big boy football. So he proved himself to me as he could play, with the best of the guys in the SEC. And he proved to me that I think he's NFL worthy, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's definitely NFL worthy. I think he's definitely going to make the team. I think he's definitely a great depth piece for a NFL franchise. I look at him because, like, there is a premium in football of having a guy that can kind of just disrupt the middle of the offensive line. They can do that. Like, it was something that I always talked about for Auburn, man. I was like, man, I wish, like, when you look at what Auburn did, like, we've been having this conversation about Auburn, talking about, like, what is the pass rush going to look like? Like, where's the, like, how are we going to rush the pass? What is the edges going to look like? You brought in Deshaun Womack, you got Jared Smith in the room and things of that nature. And as you talk, and when you talk, you play football and you talk, you know, when you're rushing the pass, when you're rushing the quarterback, you say you always rush the deepest shoulder of the quarterback. And, you know, I think Auburn did that very well in some in instances. But the problem is, like, if you go back to that Cal game that Auburn played back in 2024 when Cal came to Auburn and beat Auburn, which was shout out Fernando Mendoza. He ended up being a Heisman Trophy winner this past season. But he was the quarterback for Cal for Cal that year. It wasn't the pressure from the outside that was the problem. It was the pressure from the interior. And so I think, like, if you can find a guy that can just disrupt the interior offensive line on the interior defensive line, and when a quarterback decides to step up in the pocket and your outside pressure is rushing the deepest shoulder of the quarterback, and he has to step up in the pocket, and now the pocket collapse, I think that is just a premium to have. And I think that's something that Bobby Jamison-Travis can do, especially when he works on it, you know, a little bit more in his career. I see him as a person, like, if he can just find the right team that falls in love with him in the league, I think you can see him play 7-8 years, you know, potentially a decade, and just look back at it and just be like, man, he's still in the NFL. He's still playing. Like, you know, like, I think that's the kind of person. I think that's the kind of guy that you can see from him and the type of career he can have, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Like, I think is he projected like as like a day 3 guy, something like that?
I believe so, man.
Yeah. Based on what I read, they said potential day 3 guy.
And that's why I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was about to say, like, you just said it. 6'4", 330. You ain't teaching that, and I'm looking at it like this, man. You said what? You said one key stat that very intrigues me. 22. What'd you say? 22 solo tackles on the defensive line. That's all I need to know.
What does that sound like, K-Style?
That's all I need to know right there.
That sounds like Grady damn Garrett. That's what he sounds like, Grady Garrett. He's just a big Grady Garrett.
See, for those that don't know why that is significant, that means that once he gets his hands on you, you might as well go the hell down. Because if you ain't,
yeah.
It's almost like if the great Kylie put you in the vice grip, you might as well just tap out right then and there now.
That's it.
Go ahead, Don.
But no, I was saying, like, we're scouting him because we know he's not going to be a day 1 or day 2 guy. He could fall late day 2. Right. I projected him to be like a 4th or 5th round guy. And like we said, like, for years, we've had issues with stopping the run, especially on short down situations. So Bobby Jamison-Travis, I really think he'll fit this team, because the Falcons, I hope Ian understands, and I understand we still got Old Brick here from the last regime, our defensive coordinator, but this new regime with Ian Cunningham as a GM, Matt Ryan as our president of operations, president of football, they got to understand you have to have a big guy. Mm-hmm. You have to have a big guy as your one or nose tackle guy, or even you could put a big guy at 3 tech if you need to, because I know we run it 4-3.
Okay. Yeah. Now, would you say? Go ahead. Now, would you say? And I know you said he's not Derrick Brown, but would you say he's more closer to Derrick Brown, or would you say he'd be closer to somebody like a Nick Fairley?
I was gonna say Marlon Davis. Lord,
man. When you mention the names Derrick Brown and Nick Fairley, you're talking about Auburn royalty on the defensive line in the past couple of seasons, man. It's hard to compare somebody to those two guys, those two type of guys, man. Okay. I'm just being real. If I had to, man, like that's man.
Is Marlon Davis in a fair comparison? You think?
I mean, you could throw. I just want to throw Nick Fairley's name in there, so people don't. I just want to throw his name in there because I think he's one of the forgotten guys in the league, especially coming out of Auburn. He's kind of like one of the forgotten guys outside of the Auburn faithful.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say a name that a lot of Auburn fans probably remember. That I would probably liking him more towards. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and this is just my opinion. I think he's bigger than this dude. Don't get it twisted. He's bigger than the name I'm about to say, but they kind of played the same. They played the same position, man. The first name that comes to my mind when I think of somebody that matches him is tell me if you agree with this. Jay Ricks. The Jay Ricks.
Yeah, he's bigger than Jay Ricks, but yeah, I can see from I can see from explosiveness and a disruptiveness in the interior aspect, for sure. But you're right, he is bigger than Jay.
Yeah, he's bigger than Jay Ricks though. Like that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of somebody in the interior like that. Oh man,
and I tell you, man, I actually was, like you say, he's a late day two, maybe day three guy. The great thing about that is I think if you can get this guy late day two, day three, you're getting first round elements, right? I think he has first round size, first round strength, right? And then we talk about this at Auburn a lot. Talking about this on Water Cooler a lot when we talk about Auburn. There's this is a guy who, if he had done this, you're talking about 22 solo tackles from the interior, that 30 plus tackles overall in the season for an interior guy. If he had done this at Ohio State, we'd be talking about a first round guy right now. If he had done this at Georgia, we'd be talking about a first round talent right now. It's just the fact that, I'm not saying that, he's better than any other first round talent that's projected to be a first round talent this year. I'm just saying that a lot of the reason that this guy is going to fall to day three is because, one, he played in the system, like it was said already, where we rotated heavy. So he didn't get a ton of snaps. He didn't get the every down snaps. And then also we just weren't a very good football team.
Yeah.
You can take that, take that how you will, but it's from a strength and size standpoint, you're not going to find a defensive tackle that has better measurables than this dude.
You know who he remind me of, and a lot of people, and I know he just only been in the league for one season. He reminds me of Kenneth Grant. Y'all know who Kenneth Grant is, right?
No, tell us who is Kenneth Grant? Kenneth Grant, tell us, please.
He plays for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. And what school did he go to?
The one and only University of Michigan.
That's what we're waiting on. We know.
But if you look at his tape though, and you look at Kenneth Grant, he was huge and he was fast as hell. This dude was hawking down running backs.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bobby Jamison-Travis, I ain't gonna say he was like we said, 20-something tackles for a defensive tackle. Like, that's crazy. That means that dude was fast for his size.
Yeah.
Not only you getting size, but you also getting speed.
Mm-hmm. Look. Like I said, them solo tackle. Like I said again, them solo tackle just tells me see ball, get ball.
Yeah, because if you think about it, look at the division we playing. Look at the division we playing in. You're playing Baker Mayfield 2 times a year. You're playing Bryce Young twice a year. Those guys like to move around. Mm-hmm. So, and I know I saw a lot last year when Baker and Bryce and any other scrambling quarterback, what they normally do? They normally try to run. They run up the middle and get 15, 20 yards of a quarterback sneak or quarterback draw.
Okay.
And you put Bobby Jameson-Travis right there, he's stopping that shit. That's no longer gonna happen against us.
Like I said, see ball, get ball. Hey Mike, you been kind of silent over there, man. So what's your take on this, man? On Bobby Jameson-Travis?
I just think he's one of those. I just think he's one of those guys. If you want to play in a 3-4, I think he's better suited for a 3-4 because you can. It's better suited for a defensive coach like a Jeff Olbrich because he's going to send blitzes, and I think if you look at the size, he'll be able to play the outside, the inside, and you can move him around on stunts and things of that nature. Doing with his size, being 6'4", 300 pounds. Like this dude, he's long, and that's what you want. Is length in the NFL, especially with what most quarterbacks. We got some short quarterbacks in the Bryce Youngs of the world. All they have to do is really just play their lane and get their hands up, because that's where the NFL is going. They're going more to those quick passes and have a long guy, whether it's in the middle of the field or on the edge. He's perfect. So you don't necessarily have to have the athleticism, but as long as you can hold a point, hold your ground, and like you guys were saying, it being a guy that's strong and big, you can put a few pounds on him so he can play at zero. So I think he's a guy that, in my opinion, what I'm looking at, he's probably better suited for a 3-4 type of team. I don't know about a 4. I don't know about a 4-3 team. To be honest, like most of these quarterbacks are really explosive, getting out and running. And I think you need a little bit more athleticism to be able to play in this NFL against certain types of quarterbacks. Now, if you got a pocket quarterback, a guy that doesn't necessarily get outside, but if you're playing against the Lamar Jacksons, at some points, the Jalen Hurts and the Bryce Young, those guys can get off the ball around the edge, and I think you have to have a little bit more athleticism, but I think he'd be perfect for a 3-4 team.
But I say to combat that, like you said, man, we all know when it comes to interior defensive linemen, you get that first quick step, don't matter how fast or athletic you are, that first quick step is the biggest difference between you laying a quarterback out and you whiffing on a sack. And I see, and like I said, from what I've seen from them, is that, like you said, that area quickness right there is very important. Because I know when people look at these combines and they look at all these stuff about the 40 times and stuff like that, I always tell people when it comes to looking at the 40 times, don't look at the 40. Look at the 10-yard split. The 10-yard split is going to tell you exactly everything you need to know. And I think his 10-yard split was like a 1.69, if I'm not mistaken. And for a guy that size, that's pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
So, hey, like I said, I'm fucking with it. I'ma just say that I'm fucking with it.
I mean, he's a big dude, man, and he can move too. So he's really quick. He's good on stunts and twists. So you gotta get, if you plan on blocking this dude, you have to get a good grip in both hands on him. So like it's not an easy task. So he's fit for, like you said, that 3-4. Could he play in a 4-3? I think it's possible, but better suited in probably a 3-4. And like you said earlier, the Falcons, you guys play a multiple front and rotate a lot of guys in there. So that's what he's coming from. So he's perfect for that.
But I do have a question though, and this is kind of going to stray away from Bobby Jamison-Travis here for a second. I want for those that may not have watched Auburn football around this time, I want you to explain how special the whole Ronnie Brown Cadillac Williams dynamic was back in the day. If y'all watched Auburn around that time.
Jason Campbell was them too as well.
He said if we watched it back in the day, man, everybody was watching that.
Yeah, everybody.
No. I just want to hey, look. That's for the people that's watching right now.
Oh, okay.
Some folk may not have watched Auburn back then. They may not even paid attention to it.
Yeah.
Shoot, most Alabama fans were Auburn fans back then.
Wow. Man.
Hey man, I was trying. Look, I was trying to be nice to bridge the generational gap here. My bad.
Somebody clip that.
Yeah, please clip that. It's in
Somebody clip that.
We're clipping it. We're clipping it down to send it to you.
I already know. I know.
So shit, I know. Hell, you couldn't find an Alabama fan within 150 miles of the state line. I remember them days.
Oh, man, I love it.
That's funny, man.
Tell me more,
bro. I kid you not, boy. It was. I kid you. There was people that were ashamed to be an Alabama fan until that first national title they won with Nick Saban. After that, they wouldn't shut up since.
Bro.
All them motherfuckers did during that time is barbecue. They just went to the damn stadium so they can barbecue. Eat food. Right? No damn Alabama fans back then.
Oh my god!
And y'all have Michigan to think because we sent Nick Saban home packing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Alabama did lose to Michigan in the same year. They lost the
2 years.
First day of the year and the last day of the year. I remember that.
We sent Nick Saban home packing.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't heard Roll Tide in about 5 years, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, man, we hear it all the time. Unfortunately, I mean, you talk about Cardinal Williams and Ronnie Brown, man. You talk about those two guys, man.
Yeah, that era of Auburn football.
Yeah, you talk about a team that was just physical. That's what you talk like the team as a whole, just a physical football team, something that Auburn ain't been in the past 5 years. Man, like it just tough to get on the ground. Just two dynamic runners. You know, when you look at what that team did in 03, like the projections for that team in 03 to be like a national championship contender team, and then USC comes to Auburn and just drug them. Like it was not even a game. And then 2004 season comes, no expectations for Auburn. Nobody expecting Auburn to do anything. Nobody expected Auburn to win probably 6-7 games. Is what it is. Then you come back and then you just lean on a Cardinal Williams. You have a Jason Campbell on that team at quarterback. Man, you end up going to the Music City Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. No, you went to the Sugar Bowl. Excuse me. You went to the Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl. My bad. I'm sure the Music City Bowl was the year before. You went to the Sugar Bowl and should have played for national championship, man. When you talk about that, man, that was just an era of just like Auburn having like great running backs every year. Because after that, it was Kenny Irons. After that, you had Brad Lester. After that, you had Ben Tate. After that, and what people fail to realize is, man, that running back room with Cardinal Williams and Ronnie Brown. I mean, you had Trey Smith was in that running back room. Brandon Jacobs was in that running back room. Like you had legitimately 3 guys in that room that played NFL football, and one of them left because he said he knew he wasn't gonna be able to get on the field.
Oh my god!
And I mean, it's just a physical team back then, man. That was just physicality, just all the way around. Dudes, a lot of South Florida guys on that defense was on that defense. A lot of Mobile guys, a lot of Alabama, like a lot of state of Alabama guys was on that team as well. Man, I just wish for the days of just Auburn getting back to that and just seeing that type of physicality.
Because I was about to say, you said the key word. Y'all should have been playing for that. Now I remember that national title game that year. That was one of the most embarrassing. That was one of the most embarrassing championship games I ever seen. Because who was that? That was Oklahoma that got dog walked in that.
Yep.
Lord.
Yeah, when they play USC. Oh,
yeah. And then, like you said, and then when Cam Newton got there, I know y'all kind of felt like that was like our redemption year. So tell the people, so here's stories about how that season went on, and how they became the darlings of college football that year.
Go ahead, Ted.
Oh man, so 2010 was a year nobody expected, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody that came out of left field, right? It's just cleanly out of left field. We get Gene Chizik in the building. We don't know what to expect from him. We get this new guy in Gus Malzahn, who we were being told ran a high school offense. And we, get this kid in Cam Newton who, if you weren't really a Florida fan, you didn't know who he was, right? You didn't really know who he was. Come from Glenn College at the time, and from the moment he stepped on the field, we knew. At least I knew, like this dude is not like the rest of the quarterbacks in this conference. This is something different. And you saw the coaches start to lean on him and lean on his abilities to run the football, the big arm. What a lot of people don't realize about that year is that despite, Nick Fairley was a beast on defense that year. However, that defense gave up a ton of points.
Yeah, it did.
It gave up a ton of points. Cam Newton, I don't think a single play on that offense made it to the NFL, right? Am I wrong by saying that?
Nah, you correct.
Yeah, he was pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. It instantly became an Auburn favorite, even with the controversy. I think the controversy just gave the entire fan base something to rally behind, honestly, more so than it did hurt us. But that was a very, very, very special year. I was thinking that, hey, if this type of quarterback works, why don't we recruit more guys like this? That never really happened. But the Cam Newton was. I mean, he was everything as advertised at Auburn. Everything as advertised.
Now he can't keep his mouth shut because everything Atlanta does, he gotta bash.
He got that damn stupid hat on. That's why he can't.
I get he's from Atlanta.
He got on. No, you can't think with that stupid shit on your head.
Yeah, he's from Atlanta, and he grew up a Falcons fan, and to this day he still feels like the organization owes it to him to at least let him play for the Falcons. Even to this day, I'm like, bro, you ain't played a snap in a few years. Like, bro, what you gonna do?
Yeah. Like, he really feel that way? He really want to play for Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah, he want to play anywhere they let him now.
He been salivating. Like, bro, I love Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody at some point in time admired his game, but like Cam, once you fail to fall on that football, like your dream died. You died. Okay?
Wow.
Right there. Like y'all see the interview when that girl said, "Hey, did you go to the Super Bowl?"
Yeah, that's
right. See that? And he said, yeah, I was scared to fall. How you big 300-pound ass is scared to fall on the football?
Right.
I wasn't expecting Cam to say he was scared. But like I said, why would any team want you at this point when you're volunteering to say and embarrass yourself that I was scared to fall on the football? That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about Cadillac Williams at first. I'd say this to the Auburn fan base, and I speak for myself, but I've heard a lot of people share these sentiments. To the Auburn fan base, Cadillac Williams is to Auburn what a lot of people think Cam Newton is to Auburn in terms of the place that he stands in Auburn's fan base heart. Right. This is a guy that we got from a freshman. He's an Auburn guy. When speaking about Cadillac Williams, Cam Newton was a 1-year rental, really, basically.
He was there for 14 games.
Yeah. So
a mercenary.
When you start talking about.
Yeah, he was at Florida at one point, and then he got in trouble out there, and then he went to community college.
I'll give that 2010 team credit though. If you really think about it, in the grand scheme of like how college football is being played today, when you're talking about the fast pace, how plays are being called, play cards, and the simplification of the game, that was one of the first teams to really be successful doing it that way, right? It was one of the first teams to really kind of bring that to college football, and then you start to see it being repeated at other places. Well, successfully repeated at other places. They did this all the way to a national championship. So, you know, it's a copycat league wherever you play. Once you see somebody doing something that works, other teams are going to follow. So I give them credit. I'm saying I'm giving them credit for that. Like they didn't win a national championship. Yeah, I give them credit for all of that, man. But it was a little bit more than just winning a national championship. It actually, I think, birthed some sort of system within college football that you still see elements of. Every single team today has elements of what that 20 teams offense was, how it was orchestrated and then being run.
And just giving opportunities to kids that, you know, they failed one place, they can go somewhere else and be successful too. So that was another thing that I saw back in 2010. I'm like, because everybody thought Cam, like, bro, he blew his opportunity to play college football. Because remember, he played at Florida, to him and Tim Tebow. And, you know, he got in trouble, and then Tebow just took off. So we knew he wasn't going back to Florida. So I kind of felt like he was going to find his way back to the SEC. I don't think Mark Richt back then, he had a zero tolerance on certain players and stuff. So I knew he wasn't going to Georgia. So it was Auburn, and I'm like, oh wow, Auburn's not that far from Atlanta. A lot of people think it's far.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yeah, it's on like an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half drive. That's all it is. So, man, trust me, I've been to Auburn games before. I've seen the campus, you know, with the toilet paper hanging off the trees and stuff. So, after wins. So, trust me, I know the culture well down there. But one guy I want to talk about that we drafted in 2020, Marlon Davidson. Y'all remember that cat?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, that man was. He did an interview. I don't know if it was before we drafted him or after we drafted him. He said the one thing he liked about football is he can hurt somebody and get away with it. It won't be nobody can't call the police or none of that. I'm like, bro, you came here, you did absolutely nothing, bro.
Oh wow. Wow.
I'm just, like his tape, I watched his tape at Auburn. I'm like, he played well, but of course, you know, you had Derrick Brown next to you, so of course you're gonna look good.
Hey,
God,
hey, that's funny. That's good. That's funny. That's funny. Oh man.
Lord. Hey man. You know how it is. You know how it is. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out, whatever, in certain situations. But let me ask y'all a question about, and I know this is kind of like a common thing that's going on right now. I wanted to ask y'all about the NILs. How do y'all feel about the NILs in college football right now? Because it seems like it's getting worse for some of these programs.
Why the hell both of y'all start rubbing your head when he said that?
I mean, because that question can go like what?
I thought about the language. I thought about it.
In what aspect of NIL are you speaking of?
No, I'm just talking about as far as the outrage of it, because you know, it's like a big outrage going on right now about it. That's just been going on for a while. Because the reason why I said it is everybody's really kind of questioning it now with Indiana kind of winning the national title, how everybody kind of clowning them for being an old ass team for winning.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. So it's not no. I'm saying now the NIL it worked wonders, because I know for for a lot of the smaller schools, it gives the smaller schools an opportunity to get some of these good players.
Yeah.
But
yeah, my bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. That's why I was going to ask. How do you feel about the state of that after Indiana winning the national title?
Man, I think NIL is the best thing that has happened to college football, man. If you ask me, we have had discussions about this over on Water Cooler, man, about it and like what's the impacts of NIL and what it is. I think it's the best thing that has happened because what it does is, in my opinion, it doesn't exploit the players anymore. In my opinion, because that's what college football has been the whole time. It is a $1 billion corporation that has exploited players by saying, yeah, you can come play for us. We'll give you this bullshit. My bad. We'll give you this BS. This BS.
No, you better say that word. You better say that word.
Hey, Johnny, you got demonetized. I don't want you to demonetized.
Oh man, we don't care.
So they use the NCAA has used this antitrust thing for the longest of basically saying, and you see it now with this whole SCORE Act thing that they're trying to do, basically trying to get the NCAA exempt from antitrust and things of that nature, basically saying, well, you know, we don't have to treat them as employees and all type of things like that. But these universities and the system has made billions of dollars off of these guys for decades and for years. And now the players have the opportunity, the players have the opportunity to make, I'm not gonna say generational money per se, because you can still make that money, and you still have the opportunity if you're good enough to get to the NFL and actually make that money if you play, you know, the correct positions, quarterback, wide receiver. If you rush the quarterback, if you play cornerback, you know, you can make generational money and things, stuff like that. But I am a fan of NIL and what it has done for the players. Now, I know I just said I'm a fan of it, but I do feel as if there is, you know, kind of a unequal balance at this point in time when it comes to NIL. You know, before, you know, NIL was introduced, you know, coaches and universities had basically all of the power to tell a kid, you know, where they could transfer to, you know, transfer portal and things stuff before that was introduced, where they could transfer to. Coaches, like if a kid wanted to transfer, coaches would give you a list of where you are able to go and transfer and things and stuff of that nature. And if that wasn't the case, you either had to go down to a junior college level, or if you transferred to another school, you had to sit out a year. Transfer portal comes in, it gets rid of all that. Now you have the transfer portal in place and you have NIL attached to it. Now it kind of feels like a lot of that power is shifted towards the player. You know what I'm saying? And now schools are just at the whim of players, because every year you have guys that are, you know, there's tampering going on. You have agents that are involved now that are not regulated by no type of entity. And it feels as if now the players have all of the power in this situation. In life, in business, in life, in whatever it is that you want, that in politics as well too, there's a balance between the two. You know, if one side has all of the say so or all of the power, then the other side that feels, you know, disenfranchised is gonna yap about it. And it's starting to feel that way now, because the players have, it seems as if when you look at it, the players have all the power because they can transfer whatever they want to after each season if they want. They can sit out in the seasons if they want to. They're gonna get their money, and now teams and schools are trying to find a way to recoup that. You just look at the Mensa situation that just happened at Duke. You know, apparently he signed a 2-year NIL deal, and Miami comes in and is like, well, we'll pay you this to come be the quarterback at Miami. And now Duke is suing him, a quarterback, to try to recoup what they said, what was written in a contract. And he ends up winning and still ends up going to Miami to be the quarterback at Miami this upcoming season. So it does kind of feel like the power is shifting more towards the player. Like I just stated, man, anything in life, politics, sports, business, anything, just life in general, if you just have that nice balance between where each side can just be, each side can come to an agreement of what is needed, it would ease all the tension. That's why the NFLPA is. That's why the NFL collective bargaining agreement is just. Well, I'm not gonna say it's the best thing. I'm not gonna say the way it's structured is best because I think it's a 51-49 split between the players and the owners in that situation or something of that nature. And then what the players get, you still have to deduct players' benefits from it, depending on what the salary cap is for each team and all type of stuff like that. I think the owners could pay for that if I'm not mistaken. They're billionaires. They could. I believe they could. They could pay for the benefits, and the benefits are gonna have to come out of that. And things and all type of stuff, but at least there's some type of structure in place to where when you sign a guy to a 4-year deal, I have this guy for 4 years, but if I want to trade him on that contract, depending on what that dead cap hit is, my team my team still has to carry that hit on our salary cap if we decide to part ways with this dude or this player at any point in time of the contract, the way it's structured. So college football is going to have to come to some kind of understanding with that. But the problem is, here's the problem with that too, man. It's too many teams. The conferences are just divided up so much. You got the SEC has this contract with ESPN and ABC. Big Ten has this contract with NBC and CBS. And Fox. You got Big 12, whoever the Big 12 got it with. ACC, whoever the ACC got it with. Until those entities come together and they figure out that at some point in time that they can come together and they can come together and make it better and get under one type deal with one entity or maybe two that can kind of divide it up, same way the NBA does with ESPN, NBC, Prime, same way the NFL does with Fox, CBS, NBC, Netflix, because they have the Netflix games and Prime as well. Until they can get under one umbrella and do it that way, I don't think you're gonna see anything that happens. And that's the reason why you're starting to hear the SEC talking about breaking away from the NCAA and doing their own thing. And which is something that we talked about a year and a half ago about, when is this Super League going? When is this Super League gonna happen? Between the Big Ten and the SEC, and it's not far away from happening. Now that they're talking about it,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, now that it's being talked about. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You just look at the dates. Just look at the dates in the timeline. These deals, the deals that the SEC have, I think they end in 2030, either 2030 or 2031. That these deals have that they have with ESPN. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by 2020 next year, 2028. You start to hear about when these deals up because it's just so much money involved with this. Like they'll probably let it run its course, and then next thing you know, after that deal is up, you'll see some type of Super League form, and we'll have a lot of content to talk about for at least 4 to 5 months because this is gonna be brand new stuff to talk about. But the thing about it is, a lot of other schools are gonna get left out of it as well. Like a lot of those, like just let's just talk about it. Like, is Boston College gonna be in this thing? Is Minnesota? Well, maybe Minnesota, but is Rutgers gonna be in this Super League? Like, it's a lot that has to happen, and it's just a lot of moving pieces that I'm not getting. It's just above my pay grade to actually think about, but I do think about it though. But yeah, man, I think NIL is great, but back to your original question, I know I kind of went off the rail with it. I think NIL is great, but I do kind of feel like it is kind of leaning more towards a player now, in the schools, but it needs to be some type of balance in between the two, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, go ahead.
Go ahead, man. You good?
Oh yeah, I was just about to say NIL for me is like on its face, I love it, right? It's common sense. It makes perfect sense. If I were to go and print up a ton of heavy hitters t-shirts and make $1 million on them, y'all gonna come to me and y'all gonna want to cut.
Exactly.
It's
I'm a cut you if you don't get my cut.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, and rightfully so, because like it just makes sense, right? But when you think about it from a college athlete standpoint, a lot of people were against it, and it's like, wait a minute, you're selling all these jerseys, you are, these kids can't go out and sign autographs or things like that, and so from that standpoint, it makes sense. I think when you combine it with the issues with the transfer portal, well, not even issues, but combine it with this open transfer portal system, that's where you get this. That's what makes it pay for play, right? That's what makes it this system that everybody doesn't like, because I mean, players should be getting paid for their name, image, and likeness. To not get paid for your name, image, and likeness is a 360 deal. It's no different from signing a record deal where they own everything and you don't get paid for nothing. Like, so players should be getting that. But when you combine that with the transfer portal, it becomes this free agency period, and you get, you know, on the surface, it helps, right? It helps with parity, because no longer can you have, you know, 4 and 5-star running backs in your backfield like Alabama had, right? You can't stack talent like that anymore, because these guys want to play football, and there's people who are offering them money to play football. So you get rid of that, but then at the same time, you get this system where these kids, a lot of these kids, you know, they are in this for the money. It's also
ain't gonna make it to the NFL, so that's their only opportunity to make money.
I'm glad you said that, because one of the things I try to get people to understand is like the football dream has changed, right? The dream used to be make it to the NFL. Now what you see in high school is these kids are thinking like, you know, if I'm an inner city kid and I come from a neighborhood where I want to get my mom out this neighborhood or whatever, I can do that after I graduate high school. My freshman year of college, I can get my family in a different situation. And I know a lot of people say that, you know, the NFL money is different. I give you that. But at the same time, it's like if you hadn't eaten in the week and your sister is starving and your mom's in this neighborhood that they keep just shooting up every week, you don't care about that type of money, right? Like you just want to fix your situation. You can achieve that right at 17 years old. So it puts a different perspective there when you talk about, you know, the NIL thing. And it also exposes the athletes to the real world. Some that a lot of people don't talk about is if you think that you're playing, if you're going to get an NIL deal, and let's say a company comes and they say, hey, Nike says, hey, we want to pay you $1 million a season. Cool. That sounds great. Everybody celebrates. But if Nike is paying you $1 million a season, how much do you think that they're making off your name, image, and likeness for every product that they put your name and your image and your likeness on that they sell? They willing to give you $1 million off of that? How much do you think they're making? Right? It invites capitalism into the locker room pretty much. So there's that aspect of it, but like the toothpaste is out of the tube now. There's nothing we could do about it. I guess we can regulate it, so to speak. I know that the players do have a voice, but in reality, they don't have as strong of a voice as you would like, because you want to see some type of collective bargaining, right? You would love to see the players be able to sit at the table and decide and make decisions with these powers that be, with these networks, and offer their opinions, but they don't have that power at all, right? And it's like, you know, they had that congressional meeting up there, right? Not one player.
An athlete argument.
Yeah. Condoleezza Rice on there. She never played football a day in her life. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get one player like in every other association.
Football, but not the football we talking about.
In every other sport, though, you get a players association where the players are represented in that way, and you're not going to get that. I don't think you're going to ever get that in college football, because
I don't think so
what happens when college football players decide they don't want to play? If they don't come to agreement and they lock out, right? See. When NFL teams or NBA teams lock out, it's just the Falcons or the Hawks losing money. But if the SEC locks out and Georgia decides they don't want to play football, you know, football play the bills at every school. They keep the lights on. So that kid that's got a engineering scholarship over there, he may be like, it's going to affect him. He ain't even got nothing to do with the football team. So like that can't happen. We can't have a situation where the players get together and decide, oh, this is not right for me, right? So we're gonna just sit out. They can't afford that. So the players, I don't think, will ever have a voice in that respect. But hey, like I said, the toothpaste is already out of the tube. You can't put it back in the tube. It should be some type of regulation, maybe, you know. And of course, the powers that be in the traditional schools don't want to see Indiana win a national championship. Of course not. Of course not, because that now you got other schools that, you know, other smaller schools that are looking at and say, hey, we can we can do that. We can go by that model. We can go get a bunch of 25-year-olds and have them play against a bunch of 18-year-olds and give ourselves a great opportunity to win a national championship.
Yeah.
And what big school wants to see that?
And I know, and I know we're talking about this like on a macro level of everything, but when you get down to the micro level of like what NIL can do, just look at Texas Tech. Texas Tech literally just bought their way into a college football playoff. You know what I'm saying? Like you had you have one person, like one billionaire that can come in and finance a whole team. What does that sound like? That sounds like the Atlanta Falcons. That's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like Carolina Panthers.
They just need money and a spokesperson.
That's it.
That's
it. You already know who went to Texas Tech. Pat Mahomes.
Right.
Exactly. You know, you look at Texas right now. Texas has a lot of name, a lot of star power on that roster right now. Probably one of the most expensive rosters in college football. You know, you're looking at it. You know, and
Cam
you look
Coleman.
They did not want to say his name, but I get it. We understand it. We understand it. Nah, man, shout out to Cam, man. Cam had to do what's best for himself, even though I think he should have went to Texas Tech, in my opinion.
Who we talking about?
Cam Coleman.
I think all I'm gonna say is if he wanted to go and if he wanted to go and get 1,000 yards, I think he should have went to Texas Tech. That's all I'm saying. But
I gotta look this guy up, man.
Man, you funny, bro. You hilarious, bro. You hilarious. I mean, you just look at it at a micro level and you can just look at it and just see like now there was stories about the dude, Mr. Beast, is talking about giving $100 million to Eastern Carolina. If that happens, are we sitting here saying Eastern Carolina is in the college football playoff conversation? If that happens, they can go out and spend 50 million, 60 million on a roster and still have 40 million left over to do whatever they need to do. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, and when you start looking at a lot of these preseason rankings, which everybody at Water Cooler, Auburn Addicts, SEC season, they be getting mad at me when I say the SEC is not the deepest conference in college football and stuff like that. And when you look at these preseason rankings and you ask the question like, are you ranking these teams off of how these teams are built, or are you ranking these teams off of how much money was spent on the roster for players there? And when that happens, because just naturally in the Southeastern Conference, there's just so much money to just go around for each school. Kentucky just LLC'd their athletic department.
Right.
Like now they can have potentially private equity firms come in and invest in their athletic department. And to be honest with you, look at what they did in the portal. They brought in Colton Price from Baylor. They brought in Shabola from Ohio State. They brought in Kenneth Mincy, a guy that was at Notre Dame at quarterback. You brought in Nick Anderson, who was at LSU last year, who's going to be probably your receiver, your number one receiver. Man, money is changing this thing around, man. On a micro level, these athletic departments have to find a way to at least raise $100 million every year in order to be competitive. They just have to be. That's the minimum. $100 million. They have to do it.
I think that the whole saving grace. It's funny we started off talking about Indiana, but because I think that the whole saving grace in this thing, because although they did use the NIL piece and the transfer portal to build this roster, it wasn't one of the most expensive rosters in the country. They got a coach and an administration that got the pieces that he needed to run what he wanted to run, to play the brand of football that he wanted to play, and that was successful.
Ohio State,
they didn't just throw money at players.
Roster though,
right. So that's that. Like there's some saving grace there. Like I said, it's a copycat league, so you would think other people would try that model, but man, yeah, you still got teams out of here like you said, Texas, LSU, Ohio State, just spending a ton of money on these rosters, man. And will that work? Man, it'll get you talent. But what one thing Indiana proved is like, man, that coaching piece is still important in college football. Yeah, no matter how much talent you have to have culture and coaching. And so
matters.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what the future is to hold. It's gonna be, it's gonna be exciting to watch. I can tell you that. You're gonna get a storyline out of it every other game.
Look, man, as a person, I'm up here, I'm in the final stages of getting my NIL agent license. So,
Okay.
and I'm just
Shut
again.
up, Doug.
Be quiet, man. Be quiet, man. I knew he was going. It's always got to be a hater, man.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know you had to have a license.
I have no idea what he's doing
you,
right now.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
you had to have a license to be an NFL agent. I mean,
NIL agent.
NIL agent. I didn't even know you had to have a license to be an NIL agent.
You just gotta have a vision, man.
That's it. That's it.
Vision. You gotta have a vision.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. I like
I'm
it.
talking about
great.
your eye.
I like
Look. Your eyes gotta be.
Oh,
Your
my
eye
God,
gotta be on the
man.
prize. Your eye. Listen. Your eye has to be on the prize, man.
Man, you just threw that. Man, he just threw that out of nowhere, man. Hey, we love it.
Like it,
Hey
man.
man, hey Jew, man, you got anything you want to ask? You got anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I definitely want to ask the guys while we have them on the show, and tell me why we can't fix our quarterback position. I know we just got the kid Byram to come over to be our quarter, or buying him to be our next quarterback. He came over with the head coach, but I talk about it all the time. I would go from Saturdays watching Auburn football with poor quarterback play to going to watch the Falcons, and I feel like I'm watching the same thing on Saturday and Sunday of why we can't figure out the quarterback position. So you guys tell me, because I know that y'all boots on the ground, y'all probably been Auburn fans longer than I have. Why can't we fix the quarterback position at Auburn? Y'all tell me, because I still can't figure out why we can't figure it out. We recruit guys, but we bring over the wrong guys. The last two quarterbacks, every single year, I'm holding my head like every Saturday, like, so we play good defense. We can never figure out the quarterback spot. I think we might got it figured out this year, but I'm not confident in our recruiting when it comes to quarterbacks.
All right. If I told you actually had, I'm gonna ask you this question. If I told you actually had the right coach, quarterback, and scheme combination when Brian Harsin was the head coach, would you believe me?
Remind me who the quarterbacks that we had then, and then I can tell you. The days I'm thinking about is the Nick Marshall. See, I was a Nick Marshall when Nick Marshall was our quarterback, which you guys know he was more like just an athlete playing quarterback.
Yes, very true. Very true. Very true.
That's 13 years ago, man.
That's a long time ago. All right. Okay. I ask you this. There was a kid by the name of Holden Garner.
Right.
Was recruited to Auburn. All right. Everybody know that Brian Harsin was brought in to be Auburn's head coach. And Brian Harsin runs not a traditional style pro style offense, but it has some pro style tendencies and things, stuff like that. He recruited a 4-star kid, I believe, out of Georgia. As a matter of fact, yeah, Holden Garner out of Georgia, who was projected as a pro style type quarterback, but he never got the opportunity to see the field at Auburn because everybody knows Brian Harsin wasn't there long. Really wasn't wanted from the beginning, if you ask me. If I told you that, if I told you that Brian Harsin had the opportunity to stay at least 3-4 years, and you got a chance to see him actually come to fruition with what his offensive plan was, I don't think you probably see those problems with Holden Garner there, because he would have had the opportunity to potentially see Holden Garner to his come to his full fruition, but that didn't happen. But we can only talk about what happened in real life, and you are correct. In real life, we have sucked that quarterback the past couple of years, man. And I blame that on Hubert, our previous head coach, for being a bad evaluator of talent. Brought in Peyton Thorne. Now let's talk about Peyton Thorne. I owe Peyton Thorne an apology. I owe Peyton Thorne a big apology, because I had a saying that he needed to give the truck back because he got a truck in his NIL deal, and he sucked his first season. And I kept saying, man, he needs to give the truck back, man, because dudes, you suck. But then I found some information out. But then I found out some information about what was going on behind the scenes, and I was like, you know what? I need to tell Peyton Thorne, if I ever got the chance to see him in person, I'm sorry, man, because I said a lot of bad things about you. on the podcast, on the YouTube, on these YouTube streets, man. And now that I know what was going on, it's not your fault. It wasn't your fault. It was Hubert's fault. Hubert is Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze was just not in. He was not. No, I'm so happy Hugh Freeze is gone from Auburn. It's not funny. But I will tell you this: the guy that you got now at head coach, and one young Alex Golden, process, detail driven type guy. Man, every time you hear him speak, he talk about what it is, how we do this, how we do anything is how we do everything. We actually talked about it on the show tonight before we came over here. He actually after his practice yesterday, he had a quote where he said, "What you allow becomes your culture." You know, what you allow becomes your culture for the football team. It's a different type of it's a different type of feel for Auburn football right now around the plains. And yeah, you have Byron Brown in the room right now, a guy that's been in the system with him for, I believe, this is fourth year, at least 4 years he's been in the system. But there's a guy that's behind him named Tristan Tia, guy from California. He played at Oregon State last year. He only played in like 2 games last year. That I'm very, very high on. And I look at it and I say that if Golish can prove with Tia, because we already know what we potentially are going to see with Byron Brown as long as he can stay healthy. If Tia is the guy that he can make that, he can prove that with at Auburn, I think you open up a pipeline of what quarterbacks want to come play for Alex Golish. You've already seen him do it, at his previous stops. You saw him do it when he was at Iowa State, when he was a recruiting coordinator, and they helped him and Joel Gordon help kind of transform Brock Purdy into the quarterback that he is and where he is right now in San Francisco. That's Tez's team. Shout out to the 49ers. And then you kind of saw him do it when he was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee. Hendon Hooker was not the starting quarterback. Joe Milton was. Hendon Hooker transferred in, and you kind of transferred Hendon Hooker into being an actual Heisman Trophy conversation talks, in that offense. So I think just based off of what we've seen this coach do in previous stops, I'm more confident to say that they have a better evaluation, a better handle on what they're looking for at a quarterback than the previous coaches have done. So to answer your question, it was all coaching. That's the reason why you saw bad quarterback play at Auburn, because of coaching. That's literally the answer to it. It's not that they didn't have talent, it was just coaching. Because shout out to P-Pass, he in the chat. He is very true about that. Bo Nix's best year at Auburn was his year under Brian Harsin. It was, passing yards per game average. I think completion percentage, and I think touchdown to interception ratio. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was his best year in the Auburn uniform. Was under Brian Harsin. That was Brian Harsin's first year. But but just to answer your question, it was just the coaching aspect of it. And the last one just really pisses me off because he didn't even want to be a coach. He wasted 3 years of our time because he didn't want to be in the building. But hey, it is what it is. I'm happy we moved on from it, and we got a guy that actually wants to coach football. But it is what it is.
Yeah, when you talk about talent, man, you got if you really think about it, like, you got 2 quarterbacks right now in the NFL. You got Bo Nix, who, this guy started as a true freshman, which is in the SEC, which is, a faux pas. You don't start as a true freshman in the SEC. Went 9-3 there. Now he's an NFL quarterback. Jarrett Stidham now is also an NFL quarterback. So I don't think that those would necessarily miss evaluations of talent. I think it, like Nick said, just mismanagement of coaching. Now, the last coach for the last 2 years, I can't even speak on that because dude just decided he didn't want to do his job, right? So I can't really blame.
He wanted to go watch people play golf, not play golf.
Right.
You wanted to go watch people play golf at the golf course. That's all we gonna, man.
I can't blame the quarterbacks themselves over that. But yeah, the quarterback play has been abysmal. I will say this though, like you said, I do owe, I may owe Peyton Thorne an apology. However, if I were to say to you, like, a first year quarterback coming in here with what we had, you give me 2,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, 12 picks, I think you would probably think we would win more than 6 games. right? That's still solid quarterback numbers. Not elite or top tier, but it isn't. Just how Peyton Thorne was painted. Sometimes it wasn't like you would think that he would have higher interception numbers, less yards, but he actually put up numbers that are comparable to some other quarterbacks. Like you start looking at quarterback numbers around the SEC, around the country, you can see some numbers that are similar to that. So I think, like you said, we had a coaching problem, not so much of a quarterback or a talent evaluation problem. Because like I said, we got two former quarterbacks in recent history that are in the NFL now, or NFL quarterbacks. So yeah, and to speak to Golish, your process-driven guy, you got a guy who's bringing in. I think Auburn fans are going to be pleasantly surprised with the way the quarterback play is, because you got a guy who's coming in who's bringing his passing game with him, basically. You know what I mean? You get the center quarterback relationship that's coming to the building. You also get pretty much the entire receiving core coming in the building, right?
Yeah.
So and with these tight
ends.
Yeah, and some tight ends. So like with these guys and a running back, with these guys in place, this dude was able to throw for 3,000 yards, run for 1,000 yards. Which is, it's only been 12 people to do that. He's one of them.
Yep.
So like you're gonna get continuity, right? Like Nick says, the question is Tristan Tia. I have no doubt in my mind that Byron Brown will perform as well as or close to what he did at USF. But the question is Tristan Tia. What can you do with a guy? We want to see development. I think that's when people talk about quarterback play at Auburn and the lack of it. I think that's what they want to see. They want to see development. They want to see us take a guy that we get out of high school or get early in the portal and him get progressively better year after year after year after year. We have not seen it. The closest thing that we've seen that is Bo Nix, right? And you would say maybe a lot of people would say like year two and year 2 and year 3 maybe was a regression for Bo Nix. That was like the tail end of Gus's tenure. And when Harsin got there, and that year on Harsin, you saw him progress as a passer. You saw him not have happy feet. He wasn't just rolling out, scrambling all over the place, playing backyard football anymore. You saw him go through reads. Unfortunately for him, he just got injured.
Yeah, ankle. Yeah,
right. And then he goes on to Oregon, and he's in the Heisman conversation after that. So I think it's just a matter of the unfortunate series of coaches that we've had. But I'm not gonna say that about Harsin. I think Harsin was like right guy, wrong place, if that makes sense. This is a guy that they never really wanted. He didn't have an opportunity to do the things that we're talking about. But yeah, I think it was more so on the coaching, and then quarterback play is always gonna look horrible when you got a receiver in Cam Coleman and Malcolm Simmons, and you have the freeze for these 5 stars and stuff, and then you don't see fireworks on Saturday. We're always going to look at the quarterback play, of course. And like I said, you can't. I can't. The last 2 years, I can't point to the quarterbacks and blame them for that. A lot of people were down on Jackson Arnold. I personally believe that under Dan Mullen at UNLV, Jackson Arnold is going to do pretty good. Yeah, I just think, what he was asked to do here at Auburn, and then what he was given from a coaching standpoint, it just didn't put him in a position to make plays and to win. He didn't put him in the best position on Saturdays. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm excited about Byron Brown. I'm excited about Golish coming in with his process. So, only thing we can do now is just kind of wait and see to Saturday, to this fall and the Saturday start.
I appreciate y'all answering my question. Y'all sound like y'all was talking about the Atlanta Falcons, but I appreciate y'all answering my question. That's exactly why I prefaced the question the way I did. I appreciate y'all, but that's exactly why I feel like I'm watching the Falcons in Auburn. I watch the same football on Saturday and on Sunday. Like y'all said, we said all last year that coaching was a problem with Raheem Morris And y'all came back, and that's why I thought I was going crazy. So y'all eyes seen the same thing my eyes been seeing. Okay, thank you.
No. I really want to ask. I really want to ask y'all a question though. I want to ask y'all a question about the Falcons. Do y'all think Terry Fontenot was the problem as the GM?
I believe
No.
He wasn't the
was
main
the problem.
He wasn't the main problem. Our problem was coaching. Raheem Morris didn't have a clue what the hell he was doing.
Okay.
And
At all.
and Rich McKay
but the Falcons
he sat there and watched that bullshit for 2 years.
But the Falcons hires Kevin Stefanski though.
But hold on.
How do we feel about that?
Rich McKay was the main issue. Rich McKay been in this organization since 2002. Yeah, we had some glory years with Vic. We had some glory years with Matt Ryan, his first, 8 years here. But the man, he kept general managers here too long. The scouting department, he pretty much had a stronghold on the scouting department in which coaches. Here's the thing, man. In 2024, the offseason 2024, we interviewed Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald, Jim Harbaugh, and who else we interviewed? Bill Belichick.
We got
Bill
stuck
Belichick.
with the smiley
We hired out of all those guys I just mentioned. Out of all those guys we mentioned, we hired Raheem Morris.
That sounds like a Terry Fontenot problem.
That's not a Terry Fontenot. Terry Fontenot didn't make that decision.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, that makes sense then. Okay, I get
it. Wasn't the main issue. That's what essentially what he's saying. The main issue
Rich McKay
was Rich McKay, but the fact where I put the blame above Raheem is Terry Fontenot because he could have. For one, I think they prematurely fired Arthur Smith.
Yeah,
so they didn't. They didn't bring in the essentials in regards to the coaching staff. Now
quarterback.
They didn't bring in the guy to develop the quarterback, but this is a league-wide issue. We can go all year with that damn thing and its own. But like at some point, you just got to have somebody to fight. To fight a lot of the front office guys, and a lot of these general managers are afraid of losing their job, so they just go along with it. So I think that's where Terry Fontenot lost his. I think that's why he got fired because he didn't stand up to Rich McKay.
But y'all hired, but Matt Ryan came in and said Kevin Stefanski is the guy. That just don't sound right. Not in Atlanta.
How do y'all feel about that, Stefanski, man? I know he got a bad rep in Cleveland. How y'all feel about that one?
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all my quick take on that when it comes to Kevin Stefanski. This is why I stand with it. Right. Y'all name me 5 good Cleveland head coaches. Cleveland Browns. Name me 5 good quarterbacks from the Cleveland Browns.
And you can't. And look, we talking about 1999. So you can't go back to the Paul Browns or the Marty Schottenheimers or Bill Belichick. You can't do that. You got it. 99, the reincarnated Cleveland Browns.
Did Jason Campbell have like a winning record in Cleveland at one point in time?
I can't remember that.
That's a while ago.
I'm gonna give y'all my quick premise. This is my premise, and the heavy hitters, they already know what I'm gonna say. My family's from Chicago. They're Bears fans. They love the Chicago Bears. Everything about them. Mm-hmm. Any team, and I say this all the time: the New York Jets, the Chicago Bears, the Cleveland Browns, them losing organizations. I can never judge a player, especially quarterback, when they come from those organizations. Prime example was Sam Darnold. I was told he was trash. I was told he was seeing ghosts. And I just literally watched this man win a Super Bowl. So anytime you got those, if you look at just the history of those teams, look at the Geno Smiths. He was with the Jets, right? He went on to have success. Look at Baker Mayfield. He was in Cleveland. He had a little bit of success. They got rid of him. He's in Tampa. He's having success. It's just what y'all were just talking about. Y'all talked about Bo Nix. Bo Nix wasn't a problem, right? Because it was above him. It was the coaching, like y'all said. So I really feel like the biggest issue is when we look at organizations, how I judge the players is based off of the organization you're coming from.
Okay.
If you, in prime example, is Justin Fields right now going to going to Kansas City. If Andy Reid can't fix you, you can't be fixed because he's a great coach.
Yeah.
So if you go over there and you can't get it done, that's gonna tell me everything I need to know. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I look at. I look at the development and the coaching. If you come from a good organization and you're not getting it done, I'm gonna be harsh on that player because I'm like, I've seen this coach develop guys. But if you're coming from the Jets, you coming from the Browns, you coming from the Bears have never had a 4,000-yard pass. I don't care who will go over there. I'm not judging you based off of you could be horrible. I'm not gonna judge you because they don't know how to develop. They've proven that they don't know how to develop quarterbacks. You see what I'm saying? But if you go for one of them organizations that have proven that they can develop, then I'm gonna look more at the player before I judge them. But those top organizations, those bottom feeder organizations that never have proven that they can develop guys, I give those players more of the leeway because that team has been around. How long have the Cleveland Browns been around? Long before I was born, and they still have consistently. I think they had over the last probably 30 years about 25 quarterbacks.
That's true.
Yeah,
And that's not an exaggeration.
Right.
Shit, no. You undercutting it, Jew. It's actually 42 starting quarterbacks.
Really?
Yeah,
42.
Yeah, is that
42.
wow?
Shedeur Sanders was the 42nd starting quarterback for the Browns since 1999.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
a lot. That's a bad organization.
yeah.
So that's why I give Kevin Stefanski the benefit of the doubt, guys. That's all my only point I was trying to make. Until Kevin Stefanski, like if he was coming from an organization that's like not dysfunctional, then I can judge you. But I can't really judge him coming from Cleveland because who has success in Cleveland? I'm just being honest with you guys. I can name 3. Like Bill Belichick really early on didn't even have success in Cleveland. He got fired. And we seen what he went on to become in New England. So it's just like, I'm going to point more at the Cleveland Browns as their history is that they're just a bad organization.
Yeah.
So are you putting them in the same boat as like the Cincinnati Bengals?
I actually think that Cincinnati is a better organization than Cleveland, to be honest with you guys. But I think that they're both bad. The difference between Cleveland and I'll say Cincinnati just doesn't spend money. Their owner doesn't spend money. Yeah. But that changed because you see with Joe Burrow, he forced them to spend money. So even he realized like, dang, Burrow took us to the Super Bowl. Burrow said, I want Chase here. I want T. Higgins here. And he paid him. You see what I'm saying?
He just lost interest though. He just lost interest to the Ravens.
Yeah, you can't pay everybody though with the salary cap. Look, that's Joe's problem. Joe didn't say keep Henderson here. That was Joe's problem. Joe should have said Henderson, Chase.
Look, when you got about $300 to $400 million worth of contracts on 3 offensive players, you're gonna lose defense. You're gonna lose defense.
Trust me, you know this very well as Falcons fans.
Yeah, but going back to your question about Stefanski, I ain't got no issue with Stefanski being here. It's about taking the Falcons back to the basics. I don't pay attention to the whole to whatever happened with the Shedeur Sanders thing because, like I said, you got to think about it from the standpoint of this. The motherfucker worked with 9 starting quarterbacks in his tenure in Cleveland.
The hell with that. He got stuck with Baker Mayfield. Okay, he got stuck with
He also won like Coach of the Year twice in Cleveland.
Right. Yeah. Right. But I think like I said, where the Falcons are going at right now, this is what they're looking at with Stefanski. And from the couple of guys that we talked to about it, like I said, Stefanski has a more simplistic offense, kind of like a basic, boring type of offense, which
a Kyle Shanahan type offense.
Basically. So we're having the situation with the Michael Penix, and now you bringing in a Tua. Like they're essentially trying to uncomplicate the offense and make it a little bit more friendlier. And what I mean by that is the last couple of years with Zach Robinson and Raheem Morris and stuff, they was trying to force Michael Penix to be like Joe Burrow. we ain't, like I said, and we already know when it comes to quarterback development, you don't force a quarterback to be a superstar off rip. You let him develop into that. They tried to rush the process.
Okay.
And then, like you said, you got to think about it with the Falcons, too. And then this is a funny stat that nobody really talks about. The Falcons haven't had a quarterback finish an entire season, an entire 17-game season since 2021.
I
Really?
didn't know that. That's actually interesting. I did not know that.
Yep. Every quarterback that we done had has played no more than 10 games in the season since 2021.
So so how do y'all feel about the quarterback room? Like knowing that stat and like that was like it's fragile. Like you got
it's ugly.
You got Penix, and you bring in Tua, who we know how that can go at any moment.
It can go any moment.
Yeah.
I got one question for y'all. I got one question for you.
Okay.
Who you gonna bring in better?
Gino.
Let me tell you. Hold on.
No. I get it. I get it.
Availability is the best ability.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I get it, but we only got Tua for $1.2 million.
Okay.
Gino,
can you say
Gino
better than both of those guys though? That's all I'm saying. Gino
but
is
that's
not
because
better than both of
but
them
that's
guys.
because he still got guaranteed money on his contract. The same kind of thing that Russell Wilson had when he left the Broncos and went to New York. Isn't that the same kind of thing? Where he had like that guaranteed money left, so he got like a really small contract from them.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. But as far as that is basically what the quarterback room right now is, once again, it's another year of uncertainty because we don't know where the ceiling is going to be for it. And we're really, really stepping into the realms of being like the Jets and Cleveland. No consistency in that quarterback room.
Wow.
Well, ain't no
Don't wish that upon that. Don't wish that upon you. Don't do that.
I ain't wishing upon it. It's happening right now.
Hey, so this is what I want to add, Kay. When you're done, Kay, I want to add something.
Go ahead. Do a thing.
Well, I just want to add to you saying like the offense being simplistic. Another thing that I would just say to the guys is basically with Tua and Penix, we need to lean on the running game. And that's why I brought up Auburn, because you guys know Auburn, we've always been a run-first team. Y'all just went down a list of how many great running backs we've had. We got the best running back in the NFL. I'm tired of hearing, well, let's not run Bijan in the ground. Why not? I didn't say run them in the ground, but use them. Bijan Robinson, why is he coming out of the game in the red zone? Did we ever take Cadillac Williams out in the red zone? Did we ever take Ronnie Brown out in the red zone and put in the third string? That's what kind of stuff we were doing last year.
Boy, if y'all would have took Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams out of the red zone and put a Bradley Bumblefuck in there to run the ball, yeah, there'll be some problems right there.
I hate that.
So what I'll ask you, what I was saying about Tua when he said simplistic, what I would expect is don't expect to see the Tua in Miami where he's throwing the ball all over the yard. That's not what this Falcons offense is going to look like. It's going to look like a lot of 5 yards in the cloud of dust. It's going to look like a lot of play action. He's going to take his shots down the field. That's why you get a Jahan Dotson. You're going to have, actual passes over the middle of the field, which we had a Tecmo Bowl offense where all we could do was throw the ball outside the numbers. I don't know what was up with our last offensive coordinator, where you got a Kyle Pitts that can run down the seam, but you scared to throw across the middle of the field. Like, it was dumb stuff like that. Like, when y'all talk about poor coaching, go look back at our games last year. Dumb. We would not throw the ball in the middle field. Everything Penix threw was outside of the numbers most of the time. Why? I have no clue. But expect Kevin Stefanski. Y'all know he's big on throwing the ball to the tight end, throwing the ball to the running back. So expect us to expose the middle of the field. Expect a lot of runs with Bijan. Expect a lot of play action passes. So you're not going to have to rely on a Tua or a Penix to be there and be that sitting duck getting hit 1,000 times. So that was another problem. Penix got hurt because what we were doing, have him a sitting duck and getting crushed. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you, doing dumb stuff.
Like I
that makes
said,
sense though.
like I said, if I'm expecting my quarterback to throw the ball 40 to 50 times a game,
You already lost.
yeah. It's nothing but bad stuff can happen.
That's wild.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing but bad.
Wow.
Like you said, what it is we done got spoiled off of what Patrick Mahomes has done in Kansas City. Everybody thinking they can replicate that on their team, and you find it out real quick. Man, it ain't going the way everybody think it's going.
It's because they don't have Patrick Mahomes.
They don't have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly.
The greatest quarterback to ever play the game of football, Patrick Mahomes.
Here we
Just
go.
throw that out there, man.
Here we go.
Know that.
Oh boy.
Hey, he's getting there. It's kind of like I'm gonna use a basketball analogy. It's kind of like the NBA, and we already know the Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and the Splash Brothers, and you see how everybody is replicating their team to be like that.
Yeah. But you need them for that to work.
But you need them.
Exactly.
Two of the greatest shooters in the history of the game. You need them for that to work.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's interesting that I mean, you spoke on like him throwing the Tua in Miami, throwing the football all over the yard. And what's so interesting about that is Mike McDaniel. He's from the Kyle Shanahan tree. When he first got to Miami, like everything was predicated on the run. Everything came from the run. Then it kind of got into this gimmicky phase, and I think that's how it kind of ended.
But he lost focus of what he actually, because he was the runner. Like, remember, he was the run game coordinator for Kyle Shanahan.
He was, yeah.
That's why it's weird.
But it goes back to the NFL the NFL way. Once you got a quarterback that everybody is invested in, what happens? You start tailoring your offense for your quarterback to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah. It didn't help that he had Tyreek, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. And now Miami got none of them.
Right.
Now they got none of them. Malik Willis they thought Malik Willis was gonna go down there with Jalen Waddle. Boy, they traded his number one receiver. I don't even know who the fuck his number one receiver is. I think it's Devon A-Chain. I think
they got Jalen. I think they picked up Jalen Tolbert from Dallas. I think he ended up in Miami as well.
Yeah, but he's still kind of unproven as far as that aspect because he really didn't get a lot of burn in Dallas.
Nah, he right. That's true.
Yeah, so it's gonna be wait and see down there in Miami. But hey man, we're gonna go ahead and get up on out here, man. Hey fellas, man, we appreciate the conversation, man, because boy, we ain't had one of these in a good little while.
We thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, like I said, man, just go ahead and plug the channel one more time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna be sending our audience over there to subscribe to the channels and check y'all out ourselves as well. And we definitely gonna be putting it into the community tabs as well. If you follow us on X, make sure you follow the Heavy Hitters Live on X. And we will have the channel recommendation for the fellas here. So, hey, man, go ahead and plug away, man.
Yeah, Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Water Cooler Talk Sports is the name of my channel over there, man. You can check us out around the Water Cooler. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We also have another show on the channel called SEC Heat Chat, where I got Marcus Fitzpatrick on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. So come check us out. Also, man, you can visit our website, man. We do some written work as well. www.watercoolertalksports.com. It is www.watercoolertalksports.com. So you can check us out over there and just look at some of the written work we on there. Ted's got articles on there. Ted's the godfather of interactive YouTube, man. Go ahead, plug you, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So first, you can find me on Water Cooler pretty much every time they're live. I'm gonna be on there with them. They've adopted me as the third member, so I love that. But yeah, I also have my own channel called SE Season. So SECZN. It's at SE Season on YouTube, trying to grow it, man. And like Nick said, it's an interactive channel, man. We take votes for SEC topics from people in the chat, and you get to see those votes get compiled live on the screen. And we vote on various topics. We started off ranking teams. We'll do that when the season starts. We'll have our own SEC season rankings, and it's all by the fans. The whole show is just geared towards fan opinion, man. So if that's something that you're into, you want to get, you have your voice heard when it comes to SEC football, definitely come over there and subscribe, man, and check us out. We have a lot of fun doing it, man. And Nick's there all the time, man. And
I am.
Yeah. So we go live actually Tuesday nights at 6:30 Central Standard Time. And I also have a new show that I just started with 4 episodes in. It's Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it's called Lunch Break. So it's just football content on your lunch break. That way, if you're in your cubicle and you're eating lunch next to that lady who with the bad breath, you don't have to do that, right? You come spend your lunch break with us, and we can get you through it, man. Appreciate you guys for having us, man.
She got
and DM us those links, man. Those YouTube links, so we can go subscribe and listen to y'all.
And if you sit next to a lady that got bad breath in the cuticle, you better throw a man at her ass.
Hey, I want to do one thing. I want to do one thing before we get out of here, man. Because shout out to the guys that came over, man. Like I said, we had just got off our show. Yeah, we had plugged everybody over there, man. So shout out to Slugged Up Durkin in the chat. What's up, Slugged Up? What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? Shout out to
King Richard over there.
King Richard over there in the chat. His Royal Highness in this thing. What's up, my guy? How you feeling? P-Pass, what's up, man? Shout out to him, man. Some of the guys that be over there rocking with us around the water cooler when we be chatting it up, man. Shout out to them. We appreciate them for coming over here and rocking with us, man.
And like I said, appreciate y'all in the chat. I know we didn't really get too much focus in the chat tonight. Like I said, we got caught up in the conversation. It was a good conversation too. So don't think we ain't seen none of y'all. We definitely appreciate you, especially y'all coming over from the fellas as well. Hey, like you said, man, we building a sports community over here. Hey, everybody's all one love and everybody's welcomed over here, man. So, Mike, you got any final thing you want to say?
Hell no! To the no! Hell to the no!
Well, that's a fuck no from him. All right, what you got?
I'm good, man. I ain't got nothing.
I guess you finished the lemon pepper wings. What about you, Drew?
No, man, I have nothing, man. I just want to thank Nick and Tez for coming over. It's always good to have fellow Auburn brethren come over.
I know you.
Like I said,
I love
that. They feel my pain.
They feel you. Shit. At least y'all look. You gotta see. I'm a Georgia Tech fan, so y'all ain't felt no damn pain. So y'all need to go to hell somewhere.
How you feel about Follow and Buster Faulkner, man? They gone, man. Your offense gone, bro.
Hey, we just mopped y'all up in baseball too, man.
Don't remind me.
Man, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, man? What the offense gonna look like this year at Georgia Tech?
Boy, I don't know, cause I forgot the damn dude name. I know he was a former quarterback at Tech, but he was the tight end. He was a tight ends coach Baltimore last year. So they probably just gonna come back and simplify damn offense again. I don't know, because the thing is, I don't know how Alberto Mendoza's gonna play. I don't know how that's gonna roll. But I think they just gonna bank on just running damn Justice Haynes to the ground. That's all. That's what I'm expecting.
Okay, all right,
but. Yeah, baseball. Y'all got some baseball. I ain't got too much to say about that. You saw, I can't stand y'all asses. But whatever. but like I said, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Hey, man, we gotta do this again, man. Like you said, you just let us know. Man. You just let us know if you want us to come over there. Kick a rap with y'all too. if y'all want it, hey, look, we open to it as well, man.
We won't curse over there. We won't curse. We'll just keep the cussing over here. Okay?
It's cool. No, it's just I just had to catch myself. That's all it was, man. It's all good. No, it's cool. Yeah, man. Whenever y'all want to come, just let us know, man. We'll come over there. We there. You know what? We'll talk about off screen. Talk about off screen.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
I'm about to say, I hear the gears going on in his head right now. Like, wait a minute now. Hold on. Hey, man, I had fun tonight, man. I think we all had fun.
Yeah,
I think the people had fun. Hey, man, so till next time, people, we ain't here to play.
No.
We here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
And don't be like Don eating lemon pepper wings at 11 o'clock at night.
Man, shut your ass up, man.
Heavy hitters live, lock in. Yeah, we got the heavy hitters in the house tonight, dropping knowledge, making sure the future's bright. It's Mad Mike Sports and Jew Talk laying down the law. With the Don and 6MK, we breaking down each flaw. The stats, the facts, and the truth. Heavy hitters live, that's right. The stats, the facts, and the truth. Heavy hitters live, let's go!